So, Ragiroth do.
Ragiroth Enterprises.
How's it going, everybody? Rich from Ragiroth Enterprises here with another video. This time I'm going to be talking about Mortal Kombat for the first time on my channel, which is pretty cool. So now, I don't think I have to say... Well, first I want to talk about some leaks with Mortal Kombat 11. Now, yeah, I know, it hasn't officially been announced, but I think, first of all, most of us, I think, know it's coming based off the patterns with the way they release the games and the fact that Injustice 2 seems to be done. So instead of talking about leaks like, oh, the game's happening, I wanted to talk about, leaks talking about specifics for the games. There's a few I think I found. I'm going to talk about one right now. This is from Reddit user Righteous Hall 04. He basically says that received credible information on Twitter with connections to NetherRealm Studios. It was leaked the entire MKX roster on his personal website back in 2015. It's planned to have a MK11 is planned to have a roster of 30 characters with 10 additional fighters planned to be his DLC. This would be the game's cast slightly larger than Injustice 2 roster once it receives all 3 full fighter packs, continuing a company trend of increasing roster size with each new game. Of these 30 combatants, 17 will be returning from MKXL, 7 will be returning from previous games, with 6 of those being from the old 3D era titles, and the final 6 will be new challengers. Ooh, 6 new? Like, ugh. He notes that the new game's story will feature Raiden as the title's main antagonist, who appear to be slipping into the dark Raiden way to the inclusion of MKX's story by leaving the beheaded, yet still immortal, fallen elder god Shinnok's severed head of Katana on Liu Kang's doorstep. As the two establish themselves as the new king and queen of the Netherrealm, gameplay remains chapter-based, with players switching characters throughout. Okay, makes sense. Would be cool. Will be longer than any of the 4 previous story campaigns that have come before it. We'll also be buying plot elements from the 2 of the series 3D entries, 2004's Deception and 2006's Armageddon, which featured all characters of the franchise at this point, and were the last game set within the original timeline before 2008's Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe and 2011's Mortal Kombat 9. Characters who are only in the game as story mode NPCs, similar to Sindel, Baraka, and Rain in MKXL, will also be returning, alongside brutalities in the much-loved variation that defined the previous title. Any deceased characters in the previous games will not be returning to action. Sorry, Nightwolf, Sindel, Shinnok, Smoke, Cabal, Lina, Shao Kahn, Katara, Matara, and Baraka are striker players. Maybe on the times we had with them. He then mentions the 17 base roster characters he's seen lots of artwork and rendering for, and they are as follows: Kano, Li Mei, Noob Saibot, Bo' Rai Cho, Johnny Cage, Jade, Dagon, Cassie Cage, Jackie Briggs, Frost, Kenshi, Kotal Khan, Jax, and Onaga. Going off of arcade classic tower endings as the events of the MKX prequel comic, it stands to reason that Sonya Blade, Erron Black, Raiden, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Takeda, Liu Kang, Triborg, Tanya, Kung Lao, Kung Jin, Katana, Devora, Tremor, and Goro could all have shots at returning. Taven and Atara will supposedly appear in the game as NPCs or cameos. It's a little weird that Dagon would be playable, not Taven. Taven was the main character of the Armageddon Conquest, but whatever. Source also elaborate on 2 supposed newcomers he's seen artwork for: Dominic and Selena. Selena is a dream goddess that apparently has psychic powers and can create things out of thin air and use them as weapons. Dominic is Kano's son and is a part of the Red Dragon with Dagon. Supposedly he hates his father. Somehow I'm not surprised. For those that may need a refresher, it's revealed that Kano is training up his son in his ending, with torture being the chief method, giving sufficient fruit to his family grudge. Finally, the poster notes that Mortal Kombat 11 should release around spring 2019. I don't really think we need a leaker to predict that. That's generally the pattern, which lines up with NetherRealm's tradition of making a new game every other year. To be noted, this isn't the first time we've seen a leak regarding the roster of an upcoming announced games. The entire list cast from Injustice 2, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, I do think, obviously I'm not saying this leak is definitely true. I think it does have some credence. I feel like Reddit is a common place for leaks. I don't know why. But this guy does seem like he's had credible leaks before. And I feel like a lot of it kind of matches, I feel like, the pattern with how things are going. Now, in terms of what I would think of it, I think there's a lot of good, and there is some kind of crappy parts to it. First of all, 30 starting characters is awesome, and I think should be what they're going for, as they seem to kind of generally increase the roster with each game, and Injustice 2 is 28, so increasing it to 30 would be cool. Well, and then I'm looking at the 7 will be returning from previous games, 6 of those being the full 3D era titles. That's actually really cool. However, that kind of makes me worry that, oh, well, wait. Okay. That could be talking about, oh, okay. So maybe there's only going to be one returning character from non-3D era titles in the base roster. And then we're going to get, like, some of the older returnees as DLC. I mean, I'm fine if they focus a lot on, 3D era characters, mostly depending who they are. But that would kind of suck if only one that was in MK9 but not in MKX, and it's probably gonna be Shang Tsung, probably not like Noob Saibot or Jade, like anyone I really want. The characters he's seen, well, there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad. Obviously, I'm really happy with Noob Saibot, Jade, and Frost, and Onaga. That's great if they're in. It's amazing. Dagon's okay. He's not my favorite 3D era character, but he's kind of cool. But seeing Bo Raicho and Jax, and to a lesser extent Li Mei, would really piss me off. Bo Raicho should not be in this game. I'm sorry. They have to know he's not very popular. Like, come on. I know, yes, he can fit in the story, but it's like, just let him be in an NPC, for Christ's sakes. And Jax, I don't hate him, but I think he needs to sit out a game. And Li Mei, I've always just kind of found to be very plain, especially, the 3D era characters. But, maybe they can make her a bit more interesting. I just think there's better choices. And then I really think that, the dead characters not being able to come back is really stupid. Like, I get, like, Shinnok and Quan Chi, but the freaking Revenants, like Nightwolf and Cabal, can't come back? Like, are you kidding me? The Revenants, they're still around. They're just... And I think they kind of have free will now, so that makes no sense. So I kind of hope it's wrong there. And maybe it is. Maybe this is early. I don't think that's fair. Maybe there'll be DLC. Maybe they just mean they won't be in the base roster. I just think it's kind of stupid. But, I think this leak could be true. It's obviously not definite, but I think it's possible. I guess if we know, the new characters seem well, Selena sounds really cool. Dominic, I guess, could be cool. I think if we hear new characters and they have those names, I think that basically confirms this leak is true. I mean, I think Kano's son being a new character isn't that crazy, but if his name is Dominic, that kind of gives it away. Alright, so moving on to another leak. There's another quick note. I found the leak somewhere else, and there's something that's worded a bit differently. It says, characters that died in MKX are not coming back for 11. So, this might not mean that, like, characters that were, like, dead before that are not coming back. It just might mean the characters that died in that game. So that would mean, like, Quan Chi, Shinnok, Melina, I guess Baraka. That's a shame. So those four, to name a few, which I think would make more sense than, not giving the chance to, the Revenants and all that. That's kind of stupid. But, yeah, hopefully that's more of the case than, So, alright, moving on to another leak. Alright, so this one I kind of found on GameFAQs, which probably means it's not true. But, let's humor it. So, there was a user named Captain. He said, hello, yes, I know what you're thinking. Yet another bogus leak here. I understand the doubts. I'm going to say that I have leaked many things in the past for other titles. However, due to a heavy backlash on opinions and the trails of getting my account back from temporary suspended, I figured it's sort of a bit bad. No one believed me, whatever it takes. You will. I managed to get a hold of the trailer of the new MK game. I watched this trailer about 20 times to ensure I wouldn't leave anything out. Don't ask how I got it. I'm not going to get anyone fired, fined, or jailed. Anywho, let me start off by saying the game trailer looks amazing. The trailer began with a voice giving a very brief description of how MKX ended in Shinnok being defeated. The screen fades to black with lightning striking every few seconds. A pair of glowing red eyes pop up very quickly, and then the infamous dragon logo will appear. Clips I can only assume is taken from the new story mode appears and shows our new gen of heroes with Cassie, then both Takeda and Jackie, the lastly Kongjin. All are breathing heavily and seem to have experienced battle damage. They are covered with blood and clothes ripped. Their redesigns look badass, but still retain their original design from MKX. Black Lightning appear again. Another clip with with the big boys, and shows. That's right, Sub-Zero and Scorpion. They've aged slightly with some gray in their hair and beards. Sub looks slightly older than Scorpion, but the redesigns remain true to how they recently looked. They begin to use their weapons to take down some foes. However, you don't see the characters they're beating down. Sub-Zero has his ice sword while Scorpion has his iconic kunai. They look at each other and nod their heads in battle on. You hear some slicing and blood spattering screams, and fade to black lightning again. The red glowing eyes appears once more, and we get a 1 or 2 second glimpse of what seems to be 2 newcomers with a lightning strike once again. I have looked through every MK character known to the description. The male character is holding a weapon that looks like a Kusaragame. His skin was tanned with a large scar on his chest, and his eyes glowed blue. The female had long black hair with a bright green stripe in her hair. Her fist was glowing green along with eyes. No, it's not Jade. The screen fades black one last time with lightning striking. We then see 2 sets of glowing eyes appear. One pair is yellow and the red eyes appear once more. Radiant appears from the shadows. Dark Radiant's eyes summon MKX. And a glimpse on the red-eyed fighter appears. Then he appears in his Kotal Khan, sporting a much more intimidating, menacing design than MKX. A voice states, the rebellion will shatter the realms. Multiple yellowish eyes appear behind Kotal with the lightning flash the fingers black. PS4, Xbox One, and PC logos appear at the coming 2019 along with the WB and NetherRealm Studios logos at the bottom. So there you have it. Like I said, take this as you will. Be on the lookout for the MK11 reveal at E3 2018 on June 12th to 14th. The trailer will be dropping either 6/12 or 6/13 with gameplay following next day. Until then, enjoy and happy hyping. So, I will say this. One thing I give this guy is, I feel like a lot of leakers, they I feel like they try very hard, and they're like, this is definitely right, and all, I'm telling you the truth and all this, but this guy flat out says, look, I know people don't believe me before. If you don't want to believe me, fine, take it with a grain of salt, but this is just what I saw, let me tell you what I saw. He's not a super new user. He's been around since, oh wait, no, never mind. It's March 2018, so, okay. So he has mentioned he's been suspended a lot, so I guess I'll say this, it sort of does line up with the other one. There aren't a character that wouldn't make sense not appearing on that list. And I could see something like this being the first trailer. They've teased Sub-Zero and Scorpion kind of, putting their differences aside. And it does mention a new male character, a new female character. It very well could be Dominic and Selena. I don't know about Dominic's eyes glowing blue, but then again, I don't know. So I could see Selena looking like what this guy described, though. I don't know why, I just could see it. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this leak is probably not as likely as the other one. It doesn't seem like it has much credibility, but it's also, I think, not clearly fake either. So I think we should keep an eye. Obviously, if that trailer sounds anything like this, when we see it at E3, then this guy's got to be telling the truth. Though I guess it wouldn't really matter that much because he doesn't really tell us anything after that. But, I would not mind a new character using a Kusaragame. I'll say that much, because that is a weapon I really like that I feel like is very underrepresented. Oh, and I guess him having a large scar on his chest, it does sort of match what he mentioned about Kano's son, and I could imagine Kano's son being scarred, well, physically and emotionally, but yeah. Alright, so on to maybe one more leak. Alright, so I found one more leak. This was actually the one, I think the first one I actually saw, funnily enough. It's from a Spanish website called mortalkombat.org. And basically it says that they saw some concept art for some characters, and they said, now this should be any surprise, the 3 characters that are guaranteed are Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Raiden. Really? I would have had no idea. I never would have thought. Yeah, no crap. But then here's the more interesting part. They mentioned that they saw concept art for Onaga, Blaze, Taven, and Dagon. I don't know if it's Taven or Taven. I forget. It's been a while. And they basically mention that Onaga and Blaze are kind of going to be 2 of the big bads, kind of like Shinnok. And however, it then says that the main threat will actually be someone not from a different kingdom. I think by kingdom they basically mean realms, which basically I think is pointing at a certain thunder god that is kind of changed a little bit at the end of MKX Raiden. So I guess maybe Onaga and Blaze will be the main focus for the as the antagonist through most of the story, and then but maybe the last fight is against Dark Raiden. That would actually kind of be very similar to Injustice 2. with kind of Brainiac being the main villain for the game, but not really being the last boss. Last boss being either Batman or Superman, deciding which. I mean, it would be kind of strange though if Onaga or Blaze where you fight them in arcade mode, but then the last fight is against Dark Raiden. But maybe for story mode, it would be Dark Raiden. Arcade, it'd be Onaga or Blaze. I mean, it would be like, I mean, could Blaze be like a powered up form for Onaga? I mean, I don't know. I guess Onaga, Blaze could possess Onaga. I don't know. I forget. It's been a while. Well, first of all, like I said before, I am totally on board with Onaga. He is maybe my favorite main villain from Mortal Kombat. Maybe. And I always loved his design. I just wasn't that crazy about his moveset, but I feel like basically everyone has a better moveset than they did from games back then, so I don't think I have to worry there. Blaze, I don't dislike him. I just feel like he is kind of plain. But again, maybe, his design is okay, but his moveset was just very bland. Maybe again, he could get some changes there. And Taven and Dagon, like I mentioned, I like them. I don't love them though. I just think there's better 3D era characters that should get a shot. I understand they were very big focuses of Armageddon. I don't know. I just feel like maybe they're kind of skipping ahead a little bit too much. I think, there's still a lot of characters are missing, aspects are missing from like Deadly Alliance and stuff. I think the game should be more Deadly Alliance and Deception focused rather than Deception and Armageddon focused. I understand, yeah, without Quan Chi you can't really have the Deadly Alliance, but that doesn't mean you can't have aspects of that story though. But as for, in terms of credibility from this, I don't really know with this one. I guess for what it's worth, it kind of does line up with the other two. I mean, the only thing that I think really stands out that's different is Blaze and maybe Taven, whatever his name is. However, again, they both just said that they saw concept art or renders of them. It doesn't necessarily mean they're playable. I kind of hope that maybe Onaga is the only playable of the bosses, and maybe Blaze is like a super boss or something like that. Maybe he's like, that's what I'm saying. Maybe he'd be like the corrupt Shinnok of the game. But it's very hard to say how credible this leak is. I'm going to say it's like maybe more credible than the GameFAQs one, but less credible than that Reddit one. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about some of the leaks that's been going on with the game. They're kind of the three that to me stand out, and none of them really contradict each other. If that first trailer is the one the guy from GameFAQs described, we obviously know he's right. And then I guess if there's two new characters named Dominic and I forget her name, then we know the other guy's right. I mean, it's like I want him to be right and I don't want him to be right. I'm a little worried that there's not going to be that many characters coming back from MK9. There's only one of them, and it's Rain or Scarlet is basically not going to be making the game again because they can't be DLC, and Noob and Jade aren't making the base. I don't know. It's like there's a lot of good, but there's also a lot of bad. It does seem like, in my opinion, my gut feeling is that I'm at least going to like it more than MKX's. I don't know. I do think 6 new characters is a bit overkill, especially after the new characters we got last time. I kind of think they just need to be bringing characters back, reintroducing 3D era characters and revamping them. Obviously a couple new characters is fine. I just think 6 is a bit overkill. But I don't know. Maybe I can hope that some aspects of this leak is true and some are fake. They could be very early, ideas, and then maybe they change that. But I do feel like I don't think the part about them saying that characters that are dead aren't going to be playable. I think they just mean characters that died specifically in MKX. So I don't think we should worry there. I'd like to say so. I would like to say I do feel confident that if there's really going to be 6 3D era characters playable, at least in the base roster, one of them has to be Fusion. They have to be. But again, I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about some leaks for this game. Start talking about Mortal Kombat. You can bet your ass that once it's officially announced, I'm definitely going to be doing top 10 lists. You can basically guarantee that it's going to be. I'm looking very forward to them. But hoping I maybe get back to MKX and play some of that. Hope you enjoy my gameplay. Sorry if I'm a bit rusty. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do you think these leaks are bogus? If they are true, would you be happy with it? Would you not be happy with it? Like the video if you like it, dislike if you dislike it. It's a free country. Subscribe if you haven't. I'd really appreciate it. And don't forget to check out marking art in the description below. As I always say, another time, another place. Keep being awesome.